My name is Maalavika Manoj. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Chennai, India. The phenomenon of female infanticide is not new, but age-old, and has selectively accounted for the most number of selective gender deaths throughout the country. It remains a critical concern in a number of third world countries like China and India, which are the most populous. Female infanticide reflects the low status accorded to women in most parts of the world and is arguably the most brutal and destructive manifestation of anti-female bias. Female infanticide is definitely categorized under genocide. I'd like to call my presentation Callous Genocide. In today's edition of the newspaper dated 9th October 2009, there has been a case where twin girls were brutally murdered by their mother and their grandmother. One was killed by slitting the throat with a blade, and the other was suffocated to death. In Dharmapuri and Usulampatti, some of the worst affected areas in southern India, an average of 105 baby girls are killed every month. That is, an average of 3 babies a day in a small area of about 250 square kilometers. UNICEF has estimated that 50 million girls are missing from the Indian society, and in some parts of India, there are fewer than 800 girls to every 1,000 boys. Are fed with milk laced with either a poisonous sap from a plant or paddy husk as soon as they are born. The husk method is most cruel. It slits the tender gullet with its sharp sides as it slides down the tiny throat. Some are strangled or allowed to starve to death. The more modern families use pesticides or sleeping pills. Sometimes they just suffocate the infant with a pillow. From a quick and relatively painless procedure, infanticide has turned into a prolonged and torturous one. Families are afraid of detection, and if someone registers a case of suspected infanticide and the body is exhumed, then the old methods of killing can be detected. The world and the UN should do a lot more than criticize or sermonize from the sidelines. The consequences of female infanticide is disastrous and universal. Large amounts of funding and aid need to be pumped into these countries or specific regions where female infanticide is rampant. If such aid is really implemented, then this pernicious practice can be eradicated like sati, polio, or smallpox.